You know the drill, right? You're logging into a website, and boom, there it is, a grid of blurry pictures. Select all the traffic lights, or find the bicycles. You click a few boxes, takes you all of 5 seconds, and you're in. It feels like just a tiny speed bump in your day. But have you ever actually stopped and thought about what's going on there? I mean, think about it. How can a little puzzle that's super easy for you be a complete brick wall for a computer that can make billions of calculations a second? It doesn't really add up, does it? Well, that's the mystery we're going to unravel today. And the difference is it's staggering. For you, it's a blink and you miss a task. For a bot, for the longest time, it was a total dead end. This huge gap isn't about processing power or speed. It's about something way more fundamental. And that brings us to our very first clue. The whole reason for this gap begins with how we and machines see the world in totally different ways. It really comes down to the difference between truly seeing something and just counting pixels. See, when you look at a CAPTCHA, your brain instantly gets it. You don't see colors and shapes, you see a bus, a crosswalk, a fire hydrant. A bot, on the other hand, just sees a big spreadsheet of numbers. Each number is a pixel. It sees the raw data, not the actual idea. It has zero common sense. And that is our human superpower, context. You just know that a tiny corner of a stop sign peeking out from behind a tree still counts as a stop sign. You know that a bicycle with its back wheel cut off by the edge of the photo is, well, it's still a bicycle. Your brain is amazing at filling in the gaps. But a bot that's just looking for a perfect pattern, it would get stuck every single time. All right, on to clue number 2. It turns out the very things that make us kind of imperfect, our ability to handle messy, unclear stuff, that's actually our secret weapon in this whole thing. CAPTCHAs are not designed to be neat and tidy. In fact, they are intentionally designed to be messy. They run on ambiguity. And for a machine that needs clear yes or no rules for everything, that is an absolute nightmare. But for us, dealing with ambiguity is just, well, it's just life, right? And make no mistake, these aren't bugs in the system, they're features. They are weapons. The objects are cropped on purpose. The edges are made blurry. Things overlap in weird ways under strange lighting. Every single one of these little details is a trap, specifically designed to confuse a rigid computer program. But it's stuff that a human brain can navigate without even thinking about it.
But it gets even crazier than that. It's not just what you click, it's how you click. Think about it. You don't move your mouse in a perfectly straight line, do you? Nope. You hesitate, you wiggle a bit, you might overshoot the box and correct yourself. A bot is just too good. It's too fast, too straight, too perfect. Your little human imperfections are literally your signature. They're the proof.
Okay, so just when you think you've got it all figured out, humans are messy, bots are perfect, case closed, the story takes a massive turn. Because all those rules we just talked about, yeah, they're already getting old. Because while we've all been busy clicking on storefronts and crosswalks, AI has been learning, and it has been learning incredibly fast. The old ideas about what a bot can and can't do, they are being completely blown out of the water. The AI we have today, especially these deep learning models, they can now do all the things that used to be impossible for them. They can recognize objects in messy, confusing pictures. They can read that wavy, distorted text better than most of us. And yep, you guessed it, they can even be trained to copy those messy, shaky, human-like mouse movements. And this all leads to a pretty wild conclusion. The truth is, right now, some of the most advanced bots are actually faster and more accurate at solving these visual puzzles than the humans they were built to keep out. So that brings us to the obvious, multi-million-dollar question. If the bots have already cracked the code, if they can beat the visual puzzle, then why in the world are we still clicking on buses? Why does this system even exist anymore? Because the test isn't the test anymore. The real test, the one that actually matters, is no longer the puzzle you see on the screen. The most important part of the whole process is now completely invisible. That visual puzzle, it's basically become a decoy. Today's CAPTCHA isn't really a test, it's a profiling system. It's quietly watching and scoring your humanness from the second you land on the website. That grid of pictures you sometimes see, that's just the last resort. It only pops up if the system is already suspicious of you. The entire philosophy behind it has done a 180. The old system, it was a direct challenge. It just asked one simple question. But the new system is asking something way deeper, something more holistic. It's not about one single thing you did. It's about your entire pattern of behavior.
It's not a test of what you can do, it's a test of who you are.
So what is it actually looking at? Well, all these little signals you don't even know you're giving off. Things like your general browsing history, the unique cadence and rhythm of how you type, the tiny, subtle ways you move your mouse around the page. All of these little interactions create a sort of digital fingerprint. You're being graded long before you ever see a single traffic light.
And when you take a step back, this whole technological arms race, this constant cat and mouse game, it reveals something kind of profound. It's forcing us to define, in computer code, what it actually means to be human in this digital world.
And at the end of the day, this is the real reason bots will always be a step behind. It's not that they aren't smart, it's that even the most powerful AI can't fake the messy, complex, unfakeable core of being human. They don't have our intuition. They're too perfect, too logical. They just don't have a lifetime of weird, random experiences to pull from.
So, the next time you're staring at a grid of blurry street signs and you click that little box that says, "I'm not a robot," remember what's really going on. You're not just solving a puzzle. You're making a quiet statement. You're proving that your actions have the wonderful, unpredictable, and perfectly imperfect signature of a human being.